This is Orange by Neil Gaiman. Third subject's responses to investigators' written questionnaire. 1. Jemima Glorfindel Petula Ramsey. 2. 17 on June the 9th. 3. The last 5 years. Before that we lived in Glasgow, before that Cardiff. 4. I don't know. I think he's in magazine publishing now. He doesn't talk to us anymore. The divorce was pretty bad, and Mom wound up paying him a lot of money, which seems sort of wrong to me. Maybe it was worth it just to get shot of him. 5. An inventor and entrepreneur. She invented the stuffed muffin and started the stuffed muffin chain. I used to like them when I was a kid. You get kind of sick of stuffed muffins for every meal, especially because Mom used us as guinea pigs. The complete turkey Christmas dinner stuffed muffin was the worst. But she sold out her interest in the stuffed muffin chain about 5 years ago to start work on my mom's colored bubbles. 6. 2. My sister Nurus, who was just 15, and my brother Paduri, 12. 7. Several times a day. 8. No. 9. Through the internet, probably on eBay. 10. She's been buying colors and dyes from all over the world ever since she decided that the world was crying out for brightly colored day-glow bubbles. The kinds you can blow with bubble mixture. 11. It's not really a laboratory. I mean, she calls it that, but really it's just the garage. Well, she took some of the stuffed muffin money and converted it so it has sinks and bathtubs and Bunsen burners and things, and tiles on the walls and the floors to make it easier to clean. 12. I don't know. Nurse used to be pretty normal. When she turned 13, she started reading those magazines and putting pictures of these strange bimbo women up on her wall, like Britney Spears and so on. Sorry if anyone reading this is a Britney fan, but I just don't get it. The whole orange thing didn't start until last year. 11. Artificial tanning creams. You couldn't go near her for hours after she put it on. She'd never give it time to dry after she smeared it on her skin. It would come off on her sheets and on the fridge door and in the shower, leaving smears of orange everywhere. Her friends would wear it too. They never put it on like she did. I mean, she'd slather on the cream, no attempt to look even human-colored, and she thought she looked great. She did the tanning salon thing once. I don't think she liked it, because she never went back. 14. Tangerine Girl, the Oompa Loompa, Carrot Top, Go Mango, Orangina. 15. Not very well, but she didn't seem to care, really. I mean, this is a girl who said that she couldn't see the point. She couldn't see the point of science or math because she was going to be a pole dancer as soon as she left school. I said, nobody's going to pay to see you in there all together. She said, how do you know? And I told her that I saw the little QuickTime film she'd made of herself dancing nudie and left in the camera, and she screamed and said, give me that. I told her I'd wiped them. Honestly, I don't think she was ever going to be the next Betty Page or whoever. She's a sort of a squarish shape, for a start. 16. German measles, mumps, and I think Paduri had chicken pox when he was staying in Melbourne with the grandparents. 17. In a small pot. Looked a bit like a jam jar, I suppose. 18. I don't think so. Nothing that looked like a warning label, anyway. Yes, there was a return address. Came from abroad, and the return address was in some kind of foreign lettering. 19. You have to understand that Mom had been buying colors and dyes from all over the world for 5 years. The thing with the day-glow bubbles is not that someone can blow glowing colored bubbles, it's that they don't pop and leave splashes of dye all over everything. Mom says that would be a lawsuit waiting to happen. So, no. 20. There was some kind of shouting match between Nurse and Mom to begin with, because Mom had come back from the shops and not bought anything from Nurse's shopping list except a shampoo. Mom said she couldn't find the tanning cream at the supermarket. I think she just forgot. So Nurse stormed off and slammed the door and went into her bedroom and played something that was probably Britney Spears really loudly. I was out the back feeding the 3 cats, the chinchilla, and a guinea pig named Roland, who looks like a hairy cushion. I missed it all. 21. On the kitchen table. 22. When I found the empty jam jar in the back garden the next morning, it was underneath Nurse's window. Didn't take Sherlock Holmes to figure it out. 23. Honestly, I couldn't be bothered. Figured it would just be more yelling, you know. Mom would work it out soon enough. 24. Yes, it was stupid, but it wasn't uniquely stupid, if you see what I mean. Which is to say, it was par for the course for Nurus, stupid. 25. That she was glowing. 26. Sort of pulsating orange. 27. When she started telling us that she was going to be worshipped like a god, as she was in the dawn times. 28. Perduri said she was floating about an inch above the ground, but I didn't actually see this. I thought he was just playing along with her newfound weirdness. 29. She didn't answer to Nurus anymore. She described herself mostly as either my imminence or the vehicle. 30. Dark chocolate, which was weird because in the old days I was the only one in the house who even sort of liked it. But Perduri had to go out and buy her bars and bars of it. 31. No, Mom and me just thought it was more Nurus, just a bit more imaginatively weirdo Nurus than usual. 32. That night, when it started to get dark, you'd see the orange pulsing under the door, like a glowworm or something, or a light show. The weirdest thing was that I could still see it with my eyes closed. 33. Next morning, all of us. 34. It was pretty obvious by this point. She didn't really even look like Nurus any longer. She looked sort of smudged, like an after image. I thought about it, and it's... Okay, suppose you were staring at something really bright that was a blue color. Then you close your eyes, and you'd see the glowing yellow-orange after image in your eyes. That was what she looked like. 35. That didn't work either. 36. She let Perduri leave to get her more chocolate. Mom and I weren't allowed to leave the house anymore. 37. Mostly I just sat in the back garden and read a book. There wasn't very much else I really could do. I started wearing dark glasses, so did Mom, because the orange light hurt our eyes. Other than that, nothing. 38. Only when we tried to leave or call anybody. There was food in the house, though, and stuffed muffins in the freezer. 39. If you just stopped her wearing that stupid tanning cream a year ago, we wouldn't be in this mess. But it was unfair, and I apologized afterward. 40. When Perduri came back with the dark chocolate bars, he said he'd gone up to a traffic warden and told him that his sister had turned into a giant orange glow and was controlling our minds. He said the man was extremely rude to him. 41. I don't have a boyfriend. I did, but we broke up after he went to a Rolling Stones concert with the evil bottle blonde former friend, whose name I do not mention. Also, I mean the Rolling Stones. Those little old goat men hopping around on stage, pretending to be all rock and roll. Please. So, no. 42. I'd quite like to be a vet. Then I think about having to put animals down, and I don't know. I want to travel for a bit before I make any decisions. 43. The garden hose. We turned it on full while she was eating her chocolate bars and distracted, and we sprayed it at her. 44. Just orange steam, really. Mom said she had solvents and things in the laboratory if we could get in there. But by now her imminence was hissing mad, literally. She sort of fixed us to the floor. I can't explain it. I mean, I wasn't stuck, but I couldn't leave or move my legs. I was just where she left me. 45. About half a meter above the carpet. She'd sink down a bit to go through doors so she didn't bump her head. And after the hose incident, she didn't go back to her room, just stayed in the main room and floated about grumpily, the color of a luminous carrot. 46. Complete world domination. 47. I wrote it down on a piece of paper and gave it to Perduri. 48. He had to carry it back. I don't think her imminence really understood money. 49. I don't know. It was Mom's idea more than mine. I think she hoped that the solvent might remove the orange. At that point, it couldn't hurt. Nothing could have made things worse. 50. It didn't even upset her like the hose water did. I'm pretty sure she liked it. I think I saw her dipping her chocolate bars into it before she ate them, though I had to sort of squint up my eyes to see anything where she was. It was all sort of a great orange glow. 51. That we were all going to die. Mom told Perduri that if the great Oompa Loompa let him out to buy chocolate agent again, he shouldn't bother coming back. I was getting really upset about the animals. I hadn't fed the chinchilla or Roland, the guinea pig, for 2 days because I couldn't get into the back garden. I couldn't go anywhere. except the loo, and then I had to ask. 52. I suppose because they thought the house was on fire. All the orange light. I mean, it was a natural mistake. 52. We're glad she hadn't done that to us. Mom said that it proved that Nurus was still in there somewhere, because if she had the power to turn us into goo, like she did the firefighters, she would have done. I said that maybe she just wasn't powerful enough to turn us into goo at the beginning, and now she couldn't be bothered. 54. You couldn't even see a person in there anymore. It was a bright, orange, pulsing light. Sometimes it talked straight into your head. 55. When the spaceship landed. 56. I don't know. I mean, it was bigger than the whole block, but it didn't crush anything. It sort of materialized around us so that our whole house was inside it. The whole street was inside it, too. 57. No. What else could it have been? 58. Sort of pale blue. They didn't pulse either. They twinkled. 59. More than 6, less than 20. It's not that easy to tell if that's the same intelligent blue light you were just speaking to 5 minutes ago. 60. 3 things. First of all, a promise that Nurus wouldn't be hurt or harmed. Second, that if they were ever able to return her to the way she was, they'd let us know and bring her back. Thirdly, a recipe for fluorescent bubble mixture. I can only assume they were reading Mom's mind because she didn't say anything. It's possible that her imminence told them, no? She definitely had access to some of the vehicle's memories. Also, they gave Perduri a thing like a glass skateboard. 61. Sort of a liquid sound. Then everything became transparent. I was crying, and so was Mom. And Perduri said, "Cool beans." I started to giggle while crying, and it was just our house again. 62. We went out into the back gardens and looked up. There was something blinking blue and orange, very high, getting smaller and smaller. We watched it until it was out of sight. 63. Because I didn't want to. 64. I fed the remaining animals. Roland was in a state. The cats just seemed happy that someone was feeding them again. I don't know how that chinchilla got out. 65. Sometimes, I mean, you have to bear in mind that she was the single most irritating person on the planet, even before the whole her imminence thing. But yes, I guess so, if I'm honest. 66. Sitting outside at night, staring up at the sky, wondering what she's doing now. 67. He wants his glass skateboard back. He says that it's his and the government has no right to keep it. You are the government, aren't you? Mom seems happy to share the patent for the colored bubble recipe with the government, though. The man said it might be the basis of a whole new branch of molecular something or other. Nobody gave me anything, so I don't have to worry. 68. Once in the back garden, looking up at the night sky. I think it was only an orangish star, actually. Could have been Mars. I know they call that the red planet. Although once in a while I think that maybe she's back to herself again and dancing up there, wherever she is. All the aliens love her pole dancing because they just don't know any better. They think it's a whole new art form. They don't even mind that she's sort of square. 69. I don't know. Sitting in the back garden talking to the cats, maybe. Blowing silly colored bubbles. 70. Until the day I die. I attest that this is a true statement of events. Signed, dated.